Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a powerful cold front will make its way through the mountains tonight, bringing the threat for strong thunderstorms with very gusty winds. We continue our severe weather alert day, and meteorologist Evan Hatter joins us now with more on what to expect. Evan?
That's right, Steve. Good afternoon. We are watching not just the potential for severe weather later on, but for high winds out ahead of the storms. And in fact, we've just had an update to our high wind warning. You've been seeing it scrolling along the bottom of the screen for the past 20 minutes. We have upgraded several counties. That includes Knott, Perry, Leslie, Clay, Knox, Bell, Whitley, and McCreary are now in the high wind warning. And then they join Lecher, Harlan, and Pike, which were placed in that this morning. Everybody else under the wind advisory. Wind advisory means winds up to 40. High wind warning, winds closer to 50 to 60, and that's not taking into account thunderstorms. So a breezy time of it already underway, and those winds are going to get heftier as we head through the evening. Already seeing wind speeds right now not too bad, but look out into the Cumberland Valley. Winds sustained to 26 miles per hour right now in Monticello, 18 in Middlesboro. Factor in the gusts. We are gusting right now to 39 in Monticello, 35 in Williamsburg under that high wind warning. So we are going to experience the possibility for damaging winds even outside of thunderstorms. Outside, it is very mild. Look at Middlesboro at 67, 66 Harlan. The rest of the area in the upper 50s. That's because they've been dealing with rainfall throughout the day. We're going to have to keep an eye on our southern communities especially. They've had a chance to dry out. For flooding, that's a good sign, but when it comes to the thunderstorms, that's something we're going to have to watch. That main line still getting going out in West Kentucky, where there are several flash flood warnings already in effect from Murray on to the east toward, as you head out toward Greenville right now, out in far west Kentucky. The possibility will be there for flooding, damaging winds, and heavy rain as we head through the night. That's going to be an evening forecast in the 50s and 60s with gusty winds and thunderstorms on the way. I'll have the very latest on our severe weather threats coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, could be a busy evening ahead. Evan, thank you very much. Now to a developing story we've been following the last couple of hours. A standoff between a Lecher County man and police continues. We first told you about the active shooter situation on Facebook about 40 minutes ago. Kentucky State Police tell us this is happening in the Millstone community of Lecher County. They say the suspect barricaded himself and fired shots at police. The scene is still active and troopers are asking people to stay out of the area. Troopers also want everyone to know that nobody has been injured in this situation. They do not know why the shooter barricaded himself or why he is shooting at police. Rumors have been spreading on social media that a hostage could be involved, but troopers say that is not the case. We have a reporter near the scene and hope to hear from him a little bit later on. Also in Lecher County, a man has lost his home due to a recent forest fire. It happened Tuesday. The house belonged to Lenny Holbrook Sr. He says the fire started on the hills around his neighborhood after a tree caught fire and actually fell on his house. Holbrook says he was heartbroken when he saw what was left of his home.
Done like everybody else, I just stood out here and cried like a little baby because, I didn't hate to see it go up in everything I've worked for hard all my life.
Holbrook says nobody was injured during the fire. He is staying at a motel in the Whitesburg area. A shortage of teachers is a long-standing worry for schools and parents nationwide. Now we are learning more about one potential solution. Tennessee has pioneered a teacher residency program where teaching candidates are able to work full-time in the classroom while pursuing their degree. CBS's Meg Oliver shows us how the first-of-its-kind program could be a win for future teachers and schools.
All right, here we go.
An hour north of Nashville, Tennessee at Kenwood Middle School.
The primary wave and the secondary wave.
Demetrius Wynn tries to explain seismic waves to this 8th grade class.
All right, so we know it's 8:30 because this is our 8:30 block.
2 years ago, the 42-year-old father of 4 spent his days mopping floors as a school custodian.
Do you feel it's a calling?
Oh, definitely. Definitely it's a calling because, like I said, it was something I wanted to do, just didn't know how it was going to happen.
It all started in 2018. Facing a lack of diversity and a growing teacher shortage, Clarksville-Montgomery School District launched an innovative teacher residency program, recently registered as the first of its kind in the country. Shannon Peartress is their chief academic officer.
If you didn't have this program in place right now, how bad would the teacher shortage be?
We would have had about 150 teachers short.
The program squeezes a four-year degree into 3. If they commit to teaching in the district, night school is free. They co-teach during the day with a mentor and earn up to $27,000 a year. When they graduate, their salary almost doubles.
How will that change your life?
I have grandkids, and so that gives me an opportunity to be there, not only financially, but also physically.
In 2021, Tennessee committed $6.5 million over 2 years to support the program, now operating in 63 Tennessee school districts.
Is this a model that the rest of the country could follow to solve the teacher shortage?
Now that it's registered, absolutely.
Would you give Mr. Wynn an A? You feel good, right?
They're generous. So what you're looking at is your 30 seconds.
Wynn will graduate with a bachelor's in education and a minor in special education in 2023.
How does the future look?
I know that once I become a full-time teacher, that like the opportunities are endless.
Endless opportunities helping fulfill educational dreams.
Come on, Adam, what you got?
Meg Oliver, CBS News.
Well, pandemic burnout is building, but as new cases, overall hospitalizations, and deaths drop across most of the country, cities and states around the country are updating their guidance on masking up. Only 3 states and Puerto Rico have yet to announce an end to mask mandates, but the CDC is not changing its mask guidance, not yet anyway, and top health experts say it is too soon to stop masking kids in school.
It is really not prudent to pull masks off children. You could create a risk that you would see an increase in infections.
There's Dr. Anthony Fauci. The White House says it is planning to distribute high-quality masks to kids in the days ahead. The number of unruly passengers on airplanes is growing. Now some airlines are calling on the Justice Department for help. Faced with a man trying to open the door of an American Airlines flight, court documents say the flight crew turned to a coffee pot to subdue him. This as even more unruly airline passengers are facing federal punishment. The FAA is now handing 43 cases to the Department of Justice so it can bring charges against those accused of assaulting fellow passengers and flight crews both physically and in some cases sexually, saying this cannot continue.
Until we have people actually landing in jail and understanding that there's real consequences for acting out on a flight, we're not going to see these incidents go down.
Airlines have asked the Justice Department to keep unruly passengers from boarding flights in the first place. The DOJ says it is working with other federal agencies on the possibility of creating no-fly lists. For now, airlines are allowed to create their own. Let's head over to Wall Street now on this Thursday. The Dow closes down today more than 622 points, so a rough day on Wall Street. If you are planning to buy a new house and do not already have a low-interest mortgage, you're quickly running out of luck. Mortgage rates in the U.S. are climbing once again. The average 30-year fixed mortgage is now 3.92%, up from last week's 3.69%, and the highest since the summer of 2019. Freddie Mac reports the rate jump is due to inflation and is stronger than expected consumer spending. Coming up on First at 4, some of the best athletes on Team USA will be coming home without a medal.
And not only are we dealing with strong winds outside of storms, but severe weather is possible as well. I've got the very latest on the way next.
With the eyes of the world upon you, you have to perform. You have to be quicker.